Dear Diary, girl, guess what? We done quit our job. Yes, that 9-to-5 remote job, the one that allowed us to take our scenic train rides around the US, Mexico, and Peru, the one that funded our workations to work from hostels and co-working spaces by day, and experience cooking classes in Oaxaca, Mexico, hiking volcanoes in Guatemala, and taking street food tours in Cartagena, Colombia on the weekends. The one that we pivoted to almost 5 years ago in an unprecedented time, in something we now know as a pandemic, when our international social work dreams disappeared. Though it was not the original plan after graduation, becoming a remote social worker who moonlighted as a travel vlogger felt like a perfectly balanced dream, until it wasn't anymore. Now, Diary, I know you may be thinking, why would you do that, Sojourner? You were balancing both your 9-to-5 and your side hustle so well. Why quit? Or resign, as my mom would prefer me to say. But let's run it back to how we actually got here. Well, as I was working remotely in Guadalajara, Oaxaca, and Playa del Carmen at the top of 2024 and preparing for my first international speaking opportunity at Women's Travel Fest, I realized I was working 2 full-time jobs unsustainably. By day, I was working in research and evaluation consulting, and at night and every single weekend, I was editing content or filming content or responding to comments, writing blog posts, and planning trips where I would shoot more content to then edit on planes when I was traveling for work. I also became the train travel queen in the process, growing from 28,000 followers to 100,000 followers in 1 year on Instagram, which I thought was unheard of nowadays. Yet I did it, and I loved it. But girl, I was exhausted. Now, Diary, at this point, someone should have done some kind of intervention, but I'm stubborn and I didn't tell anyone how overwhelmed I was. So I just kept it pushing until a trip to Kenya put some things into perspective.
Okay, no, that's not.
Oh no, we see it. At the end of April 2024, I embarked on an unforgettable safari at Masai Mara National Reserve in Kenya. I had won this trip the prior year in addition to a $5,000 grant from my travel business Sojournies. I was also in the midst of grieving my godmother who passed away a few weeks before and trying to enjoy this epic trip with other travel creators and storytellers when I started to wonder what it would be like to be a travel entrepreneur full time. I also thought a lot about my godmother who loved to travel and lived a full and beautiful 90 years of life, even though she was once told she would not make it past 30 years old due to some health conditions she was born with. And because I was approaching my 30th birthday that August, I asked myself, if someone told you that you wouldn't make it past 30, have you done everything you wanted to do, Sojourner? Now, was that an unfair question? Yes, definitely. But I'm half theater kid, so I get dramatic at times. Anyway, I kind of scared myself a bit with that question, so I tried to push down the thought of leaving my 9-to-5 a bit further as I returned home post-Kenya to my routine of working pretty much every single day. Because it was working. I was kind of balancing, traveling. This was enough, right? Wrong, because as my Instagram continued to grow, as I became debt-free, is July 9th, 2024, and I have paid off all of my student loans from undergrad and grad school. As I gallivanted on a 19-day train trip around the US for my 30th birthday, as I received incredible opportunities like flying to Albuquerque, New Mexico to film a travel campaign during the International Balloon Fiesta. Hey, I'm Sojourner. I'm a travel vlogger and train enthusiast. All the signs were there. All the possibilities were at my fingertips. All I had to do was take the leap. Hello, it is September 18th, and I just told my employer I won't be coming back to my job next year. You know, it's just, I can't balance this anymore. I can't balance working 9-to-5 and Sojournies. Granted, Sojournies is not making as much money as my current job, but like, I just feel like if I put my mind to it, if I really invest the time in it, it could. And that is a very wonderfully scary thing to do, because entrepreneurship scares me a little bit. I have so many emotions right now. But yeah, I did it today. It's nerve-wracking. It's scary to like just not do this thing I've been doing for the past 4 years, but I think I am ready. And my sister was like, I know you wouldn't be doing this if you didn't think you could do it. And I almost started crying. And that's great to hear somebody else say. I'm not really an external validation person, but in this bubble of entrepreneurship, it's like I have to fuel off of internal validation, and just hearing somebody else say, no, I believe that you believe you can do it, and so I believe you can do it too. And yeah, I don't know, I'm looking down, so I'm like trying to process everything. So like some days I'm like, I don't know if net 60, net 30 is for me. Yeah, it's gonna be a wild next few months, and into next year, a whole new chapter is about to start, which is very exciting, but very nerve-wracking. But I don't know. I'm ready. And now it's like real, and it's time. At the end of the day, it's time. There's this quote that you've probably seen circulating social media for the past decade or so by Ibn Battuta that says, traveling leaves you speechless and turns you into a storyteller. And that's kind of what happened to me. Though I left my 9-to-5 at the end of 2024, it was not an easy decision, and I was really sad to leave. I cried because I be crying. And my coworkers made me a video and all wrote me notes to take with me on my travels, which was a beautiful way to end that era of my life. But I'm excited for this next chapter. I'm excited to be a full-time travel entrepreneur, vlogger, and journalist. And I'm excited to challenge myself even more, as if quitting your 9-to-5 to build your dream business is not enough, to document my entrepreneurial journey through this series that you are watching right now, which I am calling Life Unsupervised, because I am my own boss now. That's wild. So for the next year, all of 2025, I am stepping full force into my travel vlogger and YouTube filmmaker era, and I will make one video a week. And you'll get Life Unsupervised videos like this once a month as I navigate the very unpredictable world of travel entrepreneurship, which, by the way, I'm going to be filming on my favorite little small vlogging camera, the DJI Osmo Pocket 3. But if you're here for the train travel tips, the travel vlogs, the solo travel tips, and all that kind of content, don't worry. It's not going anywhere. Now I'll have more time to dish out those videos, to take in your requests and sprinkle them in between the Life Unsupervised series, because now it's my job to do so. Well, diary, you're all caught up, and that's how we got here. When I bought my domain Sojournies.com in 2017 and made it an official business in 2020, I didn't know where it would take me. As I said before, I don't believe in rushing my season, because everything does happen for a reason. And as I've evolved from an international social worker to a remote social worker to a traveling entrepreneur full time, I think each path I've taken has in some way prepared me for this next chapter. And if I learned anything from working a traditional 9-to-5, is that you're never too old to pivot, learn something new, fail, and try again. So on the days that entrepreneurship gets tough, because they will, I am sure of it, I'll put on my favorite Beyonce song, the one where the 30-somethings whose careers didn't turn out exactly like they envisioned them to be, didn't hide from the world, got their degrees, and now are schooling life.